Kurt Landry here with a personal invitation to tomorrow night's service at House of David in Fairland, Oklahoma, the One New Man Embassy. We will be live streaming at 7 p.m. Central. And the message that I'm going to bring, I've been preparing all night, is freedom from the oppressor. If you don't get free from the oppressor, you can't get your mind clear enough to be able to believe God for the supernatural. Tomorrow night, we're going to be releasing from the Lord a prophetic word about the gift of faith. The gift of faith is a supernatural belief in something that is humanly impossible. And so it's only something that can be achieved by God. And the scripture says in Mark 11:24, therefore I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believing that you will receive them, you will have them. That's what Jesus said. All of us have been given a measure of faith for our salvation and an assurance and a firm conviction of the Lord. But the supernatural faith is a gift. The first time I experienced it was in 1990 when I was with a group of men and we were reading Isaiah 60, and they said it's time to actually start leasing airplanes from Boeing Field and 747s from Boeing Field in Seattle, Washington, sending them to the Soviet Union at that time, and then bringing them into Tel Aviv, Israel, to Ben Gurion Airport, bringing our Jewish people back from Israel, starting the airlifts and raising literally hundreds of millions of dollars. And I can tell you, everyone that was involved in that, including Christy and I, received from the Lord supernatural faith. It was really the gift of faith for that specific assignment. It's tomorrow night. It's critical that you join us because God is going to remove the oppressor. He's going to cleanse your mind from fear, doubt, and unbelief. He's going to share with you and visit you with God's love and break those generational curses of doubt and unbelief, poverty, and orphan spirits. All that will be broken because he's going to bring the word of the Lord that I spoke. Let's see, let me check my date. I spoke in Washington, D.C. at the Jericho March in Washington, D.C. on 12/12/2020. And I'm going to bring that word back. And it's amazing how much of it has come to pass. How much? And that's where the confusion leaves when you realize that God spoke a word, let's say it's this long, and this much of it, which is a lot of bad stuff, has now been fulfilled, and the good piece is coming. The problem is people are so confused and oppressed and not having the faith, and it's impossible to please God without faith. But what God has instructed me to do with you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central at Kurt Landry, just go to kurtlandry.com and you can catch the live stream. But here's the key, is you need that gift of faith for what you're called to do, not what anybody else is called to do. You need that supernatural, what is humanly impossible to be done through you. You need that gift of faith where for just some crazy reason, you just believe it with God, and no enemy, no generational curses, no doubt, no unbelief can touch it. And that's what we're doing tomorrow night. And so as I was preparing tonight and just praying for you and knowing that this is coming, I just wanted to give you a heads up. So those of you that are close, you probably want to be in the house. And those of you that are really needing that gift of faith, you probably want to live stream. Of course, you can watch the archive. You can go to our YouTube channel. But I think tomorrow night it'd be best if you were watching it right when it comes hot off the griddle, so to say. I think it's going to be just fresh manna from heaven, and you need to receive your gift of faith. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central. And go ahead, please share this. And let's get as many people online as possible, as many people in the house, because the Lord's going to release the gift of faith to you if you can unpack. You can unpack. And I'm going to be bringing a prophetic word of what's going to happen at House of David and what the Lord is doing in the fall feast. And so you need to be prepared for that. This is all preparatory for Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and the Feast of Tabernacles. You don't just go into these. If you go and you just attend, it's another service. But if you'll prepare and anticipate and be ready, that's when transformation. If you need transformation and a transformed life, these feasts are the time, and get the gift of faith tomorrow night. We love you and bless you, and shalom.